Hello, this is Dale, and this is my nightly video blog for Tuesday, November 10th. Well, we've got a lot of action tomorrow. The first thing is we want to sell our Apple December 100 call. And remember, when you do this, you watch the market, and usually I don't make any trades till about 10 o'clock after the market settles a little bit. If Apple is up, we don't want to go ahead and sell that call, but if it's down a little bit, we want to go ahead and exit that position. So and that's true with anything. If you've got a trade that we want to make or an exit we want to make in a certain direction and it goes the opposite way, if you want to exit, you want to stay in that position, and then we'll talk about it again tomorrow night. So we're gonna sell our Apple December 100 call unless Apple is up tomorrow. Second thing we want to do is we want to do our theta trade for the month of December, and we want to sell an RUT bear call spread. That's a vertical spread. We want to sell the December 1230 call and buy the December 1240 call, and that gives us a vertical spread, and I'll show you that. We also want to pick up two additional puts. We want to buy a Nike January 130 put and a Verizon January 50 put. And once again, if Nike and Verizon are up tomorrow, you don't want to put that trade in. If it's down, you want to go ahead and do that. That's a continuation. Okay, so let's take a look at our Thinkorswim now and just see what we're going to do with Apple, Nike, Verizon, and the RUT. Let's start out with Apple here. Actually, I've got RUT on here. Let's talk about the RUT. The RUT has been trading between the -1 and the +1 on the standard deviation. Occasionally have a little bit of an outlier. It currently is up past the +1. I see a little bit of weakness here, even though it was a little bit of a strong day today. After some weakness, you can see the ribbons are bending down. I think this is a great point for us to put on a bear call. You notice the rune indicator is going down. And what I did is I went out here to sell the 1230 put call and buy the 1240 call, and these are for the month of December. And this takes it up to the +2 on the standard deviation, which is quite a ways away, and I think that's a good place for us to place that. You get some nice credit. Credit is about 225, and that's for a one position trade. Usually we're looking for about $1.80 on an iron condor, and to get 225 on a one position trade is excellent. One thing you can do if you want to be a little bit more conservative is you could go out here a little bit further and take in a little bit credit and be more on the conservative side. But this is the one we're going to follow until we either have the profit we're looking for, and that's 10% of the margin. We'll talk about that more as the trade goes through, or a loss of 6% of the total margin. Remember, the margin is based on the spread that you have. So here we have a 10-point spread times 100 options per contract. So that's $1,000 per RUT contract of the theta trade of the bear call. $1,000. We usually have 10, so we're watching 10 here. And then if we're looking for 10% of that of the margin, and that's $10,000 or $1,000 for our profit, or we want to cut our losses at 6%, and that's $600 of and that's how we manage this trade, and you'll see that as we go forward as we're managing the risk profile. Let's take a look at what we want to do on Apple. You can see that Apple was down a bunch today, so we definitely want to go ahead and exit that. Now we get the first change of color, so we don't want to get a put on this just yet, but I think it makes sense to get out of there It's past the 13-day moving average line. You can see the ribbon is crossing over. I think it's prudent for us to exit that. We're exiting with a little bit of profit, not a lot of profit. We were in pretty good shape as it was moving up, but have given a lot back. But we're going to exit just about breaking even on this Apple trade, so we're out of that. Then we want to get into Nike as, let me blow this up a little bit. You can see that Nike's been going kind of sideways here. It is overvalued here, and the money flow is coming out. It's been going kind of sideways. We're all red, and if we go through this one at a time, remember, for a ready, set, go, you need a ready day. That's a change of color, and then a lower low here, and that wasn't there, so that's an abort trade. So we start to count over all again the next day, and that's a ready, abort, ready, abort, ready, abort, ready, set, go. Okay, there's the ready, set, go. Again, if Nike's down tomorrow, we want to continue with that trade. I'm going to wait about till 10 o'clock. The one I'm interested in is going out to the January, and we'll take a look at that. January, and I went with the 130 basically because of a lot of open interest. Yes, it's at the money, but I'm okay with that rather than going out a little bit further, because if you go a little bit further, you're getting into some pretty wide bid-ask spreads. So I went with the 130. If you want to go with a 140, that's a reasonable thing for you to do too. Okay, the other one we want to take a look at is Verizon. We exited Verizon just the other day. And at this point in time, we want to go ahead and get into a 50. It's sitting at 45. 10% of that is about $5. That puts it at buying the January 50 put. Good bid-ask spread. Make sure you put it in at the midpoint. Let's take a peek at the chart here. You can see that it has a ready, set, and if it's down tomorrow, that's a go, and we want to go ahead and get in to the put. So to recap, we want to get into a bear call on the RUT for the month of December, where we're selling the 1230 and buying the 1240 call. We want to go ahead and get into a Nike January 130 put if it's down, and Verizon January 50 put if it's down, and exit Apple if it is down also. Let's take a quick peek at our ETFs, because I've had a nice trade here on the SPY. You can see how the SPY made a measured move, another measured move, came down to the 161. If we would have gotten in right here and exited at the 161, that was about a 68% profit in about 3 days. Now at this point in time, it's kind of sitting there. It tried to make a measured move here, but it's kind of consolidating. It might go a little bit higher, but at this point in time, we're just waiting on this to see whether we're going to go up or down. I think it appears like we might be heading down a little bit, but short term it might be going up just a slight bit. On TLT, I think TLT we ought to be getting a call. As you can see that the longer term chart, it's down to the -2, and it's starting to come up. If I blow this up a little bit, you can see it actually made a measured move right here, even though TLT pulled back towards the end of the day. I think if we have a rise tomorrow in TLT, I think that makes sense to get a call in TLT. And the one that I'll be looking at there, remember we want to get something at the money. I was going out to the first week in December and looking at about the 118, 119, either one of these two, and just grabbing as many as your portfolio will allow. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for on TLT. And that's my blog for tonight. Come on back tomorrow night. Bye bye now.